calling for Brian.
Hey, Jeff. This is Brian Rademacher from
What's up,
Rockeyez.
dude?
Hey, man. What's up?
Dude, I'm so sorry about the other day with the mix-up and everything.
No big deal. No big deal at all. You missing that New York-style pizza yet?
Man, I'm on such a diet right now. Even hearing the word pizza, I start gaining some weight. I'm gearing up and getting ready for a tour, so I'm trying to cut down on a lot of the fun stuff.
Oh yeah, I understand. So congratulations on your 5th studio release. Damage Control comes out March 27th on Frontier Records. How's it feel?
Man, it feels awesome, especially, and I'm going to dive right into the fact that I actually have a 14-song edition, the deluxe edition of this album, because in talking about it, the only way to truly talk about it is to talk about the full vision of what I made on this album. The 11-song edition that most people have heard, or it's already, I heard it's already being pirated. It's already on torrent sites left and right. That's the version that Frontiers basically had to choose because they were contractually under doing an 11-song edition. But I was on my hands and knees just begging, guys, I have 14 songs I'm married to. We got to do something with them. Whether we release them as bonus tracks or whatever, we got to do something here. So they heard all the songs, and they said, you know what, we're going to pick these 11, and these 14 we're going to put as the deluxe edition. And to me, that's the album, that's the version we're going to be talking about today.
Great.
And with that, I'm so excited. I'm so thrilled about the way it came out. I'm thrilled about all the people that are involved in it. I just couldn't be happier, man.
Very good, very good. Was it emotional writing this CD with like Never Ending War and Afterworld and Look Inside Your Heart? These are some of the songs that stick out in my mind. Give It a Little More. These are songs that I've been listening to over and over again and really excite me.
Awesome, man. Well, I wouldn't say emotional. I mean, I think it's one of the first albums I really drew into my own emotions and the things that are going on in my own life in a long time. Because as a writer, especially if you look at my catalog, man, I've sung on over 60 albums. It sounds retarded, but to sing on that amount of material, it's not over 60 songs. It's 60 albums. When you multiply that by like 10, 11 songs, it's getting up there.
Right.
And so through my years and through my history in writing music and writing songs and coming up with ideas, the well starts running dry when you only have yourself to tap into as the resource. So, of course, you start going on outside the box, start writing about situations. You could write about a movie you saw as a topic or a concept, and you start really digging into that to kind of fill the void of completing songs. But on this one, there were a lot of things that kind of hit home. I mean, Never Ending War, it was kind of of where we are, where the world is today, the state of the world today. It's talking of, we made a video for it that seems a little more one-sided, but as far as I was concerned, I'm talking about the whole gamut of, people losing their homes to the war in Iraq and the things in Afghanistan to, it's the whole gamut of where we are as a people, as a society, as a race, as human beings, and man, it's tough out there. It is a never-ending war. Without it actually being a war that we're fighting physically, it's a war just to survive.
Right.
And so I really dug emotionally inside my own things. Look inside your heart. There's a lot of those things that you actually hit it on the nerve, man.
Very cool. Very cool. Did Joel Holstra fit in perfectly, or I mean, he's amazing on the video and the songs. How'd that work out with him? Man,
that was my wild card, because everybody else that I went out, I was getting songs from. Every single song on this album is co-written with other people that I already kind of mapped out, and I knew what they could bring to the table. I knew what they would actually give me musically, and I'd say, okay, I need to get kind of a commercial side. I'm going with this guy for that, Jamie Borger for that side. I went to some of the guys in my current solo band for more of the heavier stuff, and Joel basically came out of the woodworks because I saw them in concert, and also I've been doing this TSO thing with Joel. We see each other for like 2 weeks during the rehearsals, and then he takes off on the East Coast tour, I take off on the West Coast tour. But every time we get together, we're always shooting the shit and always going, man, we got to do something together, got to do something together. And he called me out. I saw Night Ranger in London, and after the show, I said, man, I should get you to play a solo on something, on something on my new album, which I hadn't even mapped out yet. I hadn't even come up with anything yet. And he goes, dude, I so want to do it. You don't have to pay me. I just want to do something with you. And okay, great. And I just kind of let it go. Like, you know, it's just one of those wayside conversations that occur in your life. And he called me out. He like a month later, he wrote, hey, do you still need me on something? And I thought, actually, yeah, I do. But you know what? Let me hear if you got some song ideas. Let me see what you got, because I'm thinking, even with Night Ranger, you know, they got primary songwriters in that band that probably not going to let him step in and bring in his own material. And he's probably one of those frustrated guys would have loved to turn in something. And I thought, I bet he's got a lot of ideas. Let me see what Joel Hoekstra writes like. And man, he gave me 4 blistering songs to choose from, and 2 of them I actually used on this album.
Great. How's Frontiers taking, stride with you, or are they giving you free range, or what's up with them?
Yes and no. They've given me my free range reluctantly at times. Like Beautiful Mess, for instance, was a reluctant free range, but they have such a respect for me, and I have such a respect for them. They basically said, we don't agree with it, but we're going to let you go with it. We don't feel this is going to do this is not going to reach out to your longtime fans. And I knew it wouldn't. I wasn't making Beautiful Mess for my longtime fans. I was making it for a whole new fan base that didn't even know who I was, or even the fact that I was just, at that point, recently released from Journey, and doing something heavy and too abrasive might have really turned them off or made them really stand up and say, yeah, this guy, it's a good thing he's not in the band anymore. So I wanted to do something that was just a little more pleasing to the ear, in the sense of that was outside the box of my own personal career and the things that I've already done. And it was something I really wanted to do. Musically, I really wanted to do an album like that. But Frontiers, they weren't too crazy about it. And in the end, when it didn't sell that great, because, of course, the only people that knew about it in the end were my fan base, and it was just not rocking enough for them. They said this time around, they said, you know, if we're going to do something, you gotta listen to us a little bit. And so they gave me, for the most part, the free range, but they said, please make the album along these terms. If you can mix the first 2 solo albums we did with us, Prism and Lost in the Translation, throw in a little Talisman kind of vibe, a little Soul Circus for a good measure, you know, then this is something we can market. This is something your fans want, and honestly, I wanted it too. And that's why I did an album like this. And again, the 14-song edition, there's 2 songs out of the 3 that are on this deluxe edition that are just some of the heaviest stuff I've done in years. Great.
Now, you're talking about a tour, but you really haven't gave any details yet. Will the United States be included with that?
With this tour that I'm actually doing is all in the U.S., is the U.S. and Canada. But since this is probably coming out before the official announcement of what the tour is, I can't really say anything about it. I think the information about this tour is coming out on the actual release date in Europe for Damage Control on the 23rd. So it'll be out there soon enough of what I'm actually going to be doing. But I got to get that out of the way first. It's something I've been talking about and working on for a long time with the individuals that I'm doing it with. And once that's out of the way, I've got a festival date in July, as well as some other dates surrounding it in Europe. And I think I'm going to try to get a U.S. tour booked in with the European tour when I do a proper Damage Control tour in the fall.
Great. Now, what's going on with Wet?
We are in progress right now. That's one of the reasons why I got to get it out of the way now, because I'm 6 songs deep with the new album. I've already done 6, and I've got another 5 or 6 to go. And yeah, we got a new album coming in. It's slamming. To me, it's as strong as the first one, and I think people are really going to like this one as much as they like the first one. But in order for me to meet deadlines and get things done according to how busy my schedule is for the rest of the year, I have to do it now, even if it's not coming out until the end of the year, possibly beginning of next year. I literally have to get it out of the way now because there's no free time. I'm either going to be so busy or I'm going to be spent and needing a little vocal rest that I can't be using my voice in the studio to actually to knock out another album. So I'm doing it now while I can actually knock it out and still kind of rest up and get ready for this tour that's coming up.
Right, right. So what do you do in your spare time whenever you have a chance?
You're joking, right? Spare time. My spare time is I get to talk to people like you. No, honestly, it's a lot. People think that I'm such a workaholic that it's nonstop, and for the most part, it is. But because I've been doing this for 27 plus years, I got this shit down to the science. When it comes to working, it's like breathing for me. It's like eating or taking a shower. It's so second nature to me that I don't have to spend a long time just like diving into one song and crafting it and forming it and demoing it and going back to it. Everything I do and have done since I don't know how long now has been so spontaneous. And I love that sense of spontaneity that just comes across in the songs, it comes across in the music, because you're kind of taking a postcard, you're taking a snapshot of where you are at that time and what that performance of what you're actually working on at the time. And sure, a year later, 5 years later, you look back, oh man, I could have done that better, or I've sung that live so many times. If I went back and did that now, it would be so much better. But you know what? That's what it's all about. It's all about just capturing that moment for that time and then moving on and moving away from it. So back to your question, I can work my ass off without working my ass off. I can, if I'm working on a song from Damage Control and I know, well, okay, I got to spend some time on this today, I can knock it out in an hour or two, and I've got something that's considered a final performance done within an hour or two, as opposed to spending days and weeks and months on it.
Great, great. What is it like being like the boss?
It's a beautiful thing, man.
I bet you.
I ain't gonna lie.
I bet you.
You know what? I thrive on both. I miss one when I don't have the other. When I'm responsible for everything, I do miss being able to rely on somebody else to kind of take up the slack and to kind of finish things, or to kind of assist me in the process. But on the other hand, it feels good to have that responsibility. It feels good to know that if this thing is successful, if people like this, that it's all on you, man. You get to actually bask in that glory, and it's something that doesn't come that easily. You usually have to share it and spend it with others, and it's a beautiful thing that if this thing does well, then I can actually say, man, it feels good to know I was right.
Wow, wow. What is it like when, say, you do an autograph session and you see the line, like, so long and stuff? What's that feeling like, seeing all them people just want you to sign something?
Man, that's love. That's the meaning of love right there. And that's something, as an artist, I don't care how big or how small you are, you live for those moments. You pray, you dream of those moments. When you see that, I mean, I'm there till the last person leaves, that last person is, especially the ones that at the end, because they're the ones that waited the longest. The ones in the front are the ones that got there soon enough that they don't have to wait so long. So the one in the end, that's dedication and that's love. So I give it as much as they give it to me.
Great, great. Well, I congratulate you one more time on Damage Control.
Appreciate it, man.
And I wish you the best. You have any parting words?
Man, all I can say is I'm just happy to be here. This, like I said, I'm going pushing 30 years in the business professionally, and I'm on part two. I'm on a high right now. Chapter 2 of my career is enjoying it, living the dream, and everything that came with it. The first half of my career was all the hard work and getting people to know who I am and getting people to know what I sound like. And now I've got that respect for my peers. I've got the respect for my fans, and now I can go out there and just enjoy it.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you, brother.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.